All right, so the market, man, this on a daily or the 4 hour, bro. We are in. We are down 12% on just this leg down. Since the all-time high over on the 11th of July, we had pulled down 17%. So honestly, I've never seen anything like this while trading. So I'm gonna pull up um, the other chart real quick and kind of go over. I've never seen this big of a pullback ever when trading. I've only been trading for over a year, so I haven't seen all the different conditions. But like I was saying, man, there's just some stuff in the air with, what's coming up this year. I'm not really trying to talk about it on the YouTube just in case. I don't know how their censorship works, but we'll be voting soon, right? So that's one thing that who knows. There's a lot of things going on probably in the world, right? I'm not trying to dive in too much into those types of theories, if you know what I mean, because I do think that YouTube kind of, very particular with what you can talk about, and my channel's growing all right now, so I don't want to do anything that can hinder that. But, dude, I mean, so today was a day where just, so for one thing, the VIX, if anyone knows about this, I don't really check it often. I just know that today was up a lot because I just saw people talking about it. Because anyone in the trading space realizes that these spikes just don't happen that often, right? Like, this was today's spike. These are like the highest ones we've ever had. So this was 2008. So that the market crashed in 2008 for housing, and then COVID, and then now we have now. So if this isn't a red flag, obviously we're now trading back down inside this kind of manageable area. But I mean, this spike is pretty legit. So the only thing I would say is that these actually had candle body, like weekly closes, really bullish, and we're kind of just getting wicks. So like this wick here, we had a candle close there. So that's the only difference I see here, is that we're not really closing. We kind of just spiked up, but still, that is a very massive thing, really. And this is kind of stuff that, for how I trade, and I think a lot of people watching these videos that trade futures and day trade, we typically don't worry about this stuff very often. We don't have to really pay much attention to the global news and the economy and stuff like that, because we're just on our charts, minding our business, looking for liquidity sweeps, break of structures, fair value gaps. We're just kind of doing our own thing. We're not really, I think people that don't trade, that think about day trading, they think about, what they think about, keeping up with news and different companies and stuff like that. But the reality is, I know nothing about the news that comes out, right? I just know if it's red folder or not, right? I just know if it's FOMC day or not, right? And I think that's one of the big things that people misconceive about trading, is that we just are some gurus about the news and all that stuff. And to be honest, like, you really just don't have to be for futures and trading indexes. So this is a big reason. If this is the first time you've heard anything about the VIX chart, then if this is the first video, I'm sure most of you have probably seen someone talking about this on Twitter or something. But the VIX is just the volatility of the S&P, or at least that's what I'm on right here, but the overall market. And when the volatility goes up, the market's more likely to just move more aggressively. And also, I can't remember, but I think it makes it more bearish. I think the more volatility, the more likely it is for a bearish move, but I could be wrong. Because again, this is my first time that I've seen this big of a spike, right? I wasn't trading in 2020. And even like ever since I've been trading, we've been trending down, right? Like on the volatility. The volatility has been coming down since I started trading 2023, October. I started trading around here. We got a little bit more volatility. We came back down. We've been stalling. We came back up. in April. So I guess we started selling in April maybe. April for March, April. Yeah, April we started selling big. The volatility came up, and then we balanced again, and now we had this massive spike. So it does make sense that last week we had this really bullish close. We had a really bearish week. So that's just something that's been pretty just kind of ramped up out of nowhere this morning. So I'll be curious to see how this all plays out. But that was one thing I wanted to bring up because it's kind of different. And yeah, it's just different, right? This doesn't normally happen. And also, while we're on the topic, Bitcoin, right? Obviously I don't trade crypto, but Bitcoin, man, we are down a lot from when we were at these all-time, or not all-time, yeah, when we were at the all-time highs, we hit negative 36%. So if you want to buy there, I don't know anything really about crypto, so that's not financial advice at all. But if the economy is about to collapse, we're going to keep going on everything. But if not, we're just sweeping out liquidity. It has to happen, right? You have to have these types of market crashes, or else, how are you gonna? Price can't go up forever, right? We gotta liquidate all the people, all these positions down here, all this whole run down, this whole trend down is just getting liquidated on this move down. Everyone's just getting stopped out. So pretty wild stuff that we're seeing in the markets, which honestly it's kind of a fun day in the market in terms of just to go over this, because you don't see this stuff very often, right? I don't see this very often, where you see this just aggressive and violent of a market condition. So it's very interesting to see. But if we hop into the day-to-day, like what you guys watch my videos about, is day trading. And unfortunately today, there was not really any opportunity that I liked to take a real trade on. And reasons for that is just the volatility being so crazy. If we look at the 1 minute candle, I mean, I was like sitting here and when you're not really looking at it, okay, this looks like a normal day, right? This looks like a normal day. Until I take this candle here and I measure it, 72.1 minute. Oh, okay, that's just a fluke. The next candle has a 60-point range. The next candle has a 81-point range. The next expansion candle, 72 points. This down close candle, 109 points. This up close candle, 86 points. This news candle, 170 points, 160 points. The candle volume is so crazy that I would have to trade like 1 or 2 micros, which is fine, but we just never got a real setup anyways, right? So coming into the morning, I saw this SMT here, bullish. ES swept the low, NQ didn't. That's bullish confluence, right? We had London highs that I was looking for price to come into and manipulate. So we have London high that we ended up sweeping here. And then we put in this 15-minute fair value gap that I want to see price disrespect to the downside to then go lower. But it never came back in. But now I'm thinking about this 1 hour gap to be an area that maybe we go long, because we probably need to go back up. Who knows, right? So one thing I want to mainly talk about is that when the market's doing this stuff, I'm not going to try and sit here and pick a bottom, but this isn't the worst area to bounce to, at least this opening gap, this weekly opening gap. It's not the worst place to go back to equilibrium of this entire move, right? I'm not going to sit here and pick a bottom, but SMT at the lows, breaking structure on the higher time frame. We have a higher time frame fair value gap we can draw into. We're down so much that you just expect some type of rebound. But again, I'm not trying to pick bottoms. I'm here to take probable trades, and trying to pick a bottom on this is just catching a falling knife, right? 3,000 something point move. You got to be pretty confident that you're picking a bottom, especially because we haven't even swept out this low. So, I doubt we really leave equal lows like this, but who knows? So we're just in a really crazy spot in the market, which again is pretty cool to see in terms of just like being more of like a nerd in terms of watching just the charts and just like just entertainment wise. But again, in terms of trading, doesn't leave you with many opportunities today because we drop onto the 1 minute for the intraday action, right? I wouldn't have taken any setup before this high gets taken or these lows, because just on these types of days you gotta be careful. We come up, we sweep the high, we inverse this big gap, but that doesn't really do much because we have no follow through these lows. We never reach this 15-minute down here imbalance, and we never reach the 1 hour. This is the 1 hour gap here that we put in on this low. So I would like to see price come down and sweep these lows. Maybe sweep the low here. Maybe resweep it and something like this, right? This would be decent. This would be a decently ideal little model that I like to see. Sweep out the low, have maybe an SMT here, and then like an inverse on this leg here inside this 1 hour balance. So that's kind of something that I would watch for. But again, it's 12 right now, lunch hour. I will not be trading PM session, and I'll just let the market kind of chill out for today, because yeah, look at this price action. We're just chopping, right? You could find some subs through here on the 1 minute, and they would have been break-even plays. But again, why stress yourself out on a day like this, trying to just catch small plays, right? This trade actually worked decent. You could have taken this. Again, decent in hindsight, 62 points, and then 94-point trade there. What do? We swept this low. Did we have an SMT at 1051? 1051. Let's see if we had an SMT. 1051. We did not have an SMT, so it doesn't really give you much confidence because there's just like an order block here. That's it. But look at this on the higher time frame, and look right now. We've just been consolidating in this big range, 125 points. So if you're a scalper that scalps in a range, you can make a lot of money today. It's just not my style, and that's fine. That's the main point I was trying to get to in this video is don't trade some days, right? You don't have to trade. And I feel like in the past I would have tried to force trades through here, try to take an inverse here, maybe an inverse here, maybe this inverse, maybe that inverse. Like, there's a lot of different areas I could have tunnel visioned myself into taking positions. But that's where I just sat back and was like, okay, why would I be trading this, right? Why would I be trading this on a Monday? The highest VIX I've ever traded, the highest volatility, the biggest sell-off I've seen ever in the market, all this stuff going on throughout the world, right? So let's just let Monday chill. Let's just let Monday do its thing. We can sit on the sidelines. We won't lose any money if we don't place a trade. And we can just let Monday play out, set up the rest of the week, and there's endless opportunity in the market, right? Last week, we could have had a killer week, right? We made some mistakes. We missed a trade. We placed it on paper instead, and we made some mistakes. So we ended the week slightly positive, but we could have had a killer week last week, right? It's so easy to get caught up in the intraday stuff and the day-to-day rather than the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, don't force days like today where we could have blown up a few small losses. Maybe we could have won, but don't force days when there's nothing really clear, there's nothing really there for you to do, and just sit on the sidelines those days. Wait for the high-quality days, because we're not gonna never get a good day again. It's not gonna always be like this, right? This is an outlier day, right? And that's where I used to struggle a lot when I first started trading, was just trying to trade every single day, regardless of sentiment, regardless of anything that was going on in the market, what people were saying in the world, the day of the week, the time of day, anything. I would just think that regardless, if I see a setup, I should take it. And that's why, you just have to remember that every single day there's going to be another chance for another opportunity, right? Tomorrow we could get a great setup. Tomorrow or Wednesday we might get a great setup. Why force something today when it doesn't make sense? If you look at this 5-minute chart, so this is open here. We get expansion move, we come down, we get an expansion move. And then once we take out sell side or buy side liquidity, look at this. This is a barcode. This is a barcode. Up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. There's not a single fair value gap on the 5-minute made through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. 75 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes, we get our first fair value gap, and it's holding well. And it would have, if you bought this fair value gap and held to the high, you would have made money, 135 points. It's not, whatever you want to do with that information. Regardless, it took an hour and 15 minutes during prime market conditions after taking buy side to just stall and go sideways, right? If we go before we took buy side, if you were bullish, there was opportunities for you, right? There's an SMT at the lows. There's SMT at the low. We end up pumping here. Let's see if we had an SMT at 916. 916. We did not have an SMT, but we do sweep the low. We inverse this 1 minute, and then we run up to buy side. So if you were to be super bullish, you could have held 300 points, but again, that's just not realistic. But that was a potential long in this 1 minute breaking off open. But again, I'm not upset to not be in that, and I'm not upset to even be worried about looking for that trade, because it doesn't matter to me in the grand scheme, right? We'll come back with more opportunity. And again, like I said, I would like to see this low get swept to then go higher on today in the PM. That's what I would be looking for if I was trading it. But just a wild time in the market, and I thought today is a pretty cool a cool day in the market, really, to talk about, because you just don't see anything like this often. This is my first time seeing anything like this since I've been trading. So, because if I pull up the NQU chart here, if I pull up the NQU or NQ, if I pull up the NQ chart, just the regular one, like the exclamation, and you can see like all of the higher time frames, right? The weekly. Look at what we have. When was the last time we've had a over 3,500 point move, right? Here, from here to here was 2,000 points. This is the biggest sell-off since I've been trading. July, August, September, October. This is when I was first started trading. From here to here, we were in a sell model, and then obviously we ripped straight 6,000 points, right? We had a sell-off here to here. That was 1,500 points, right? The last time we've sold 3,500 points, again, this is when I started trading here. Just for perspective, right? I started day trading here. I saw a little bear market, a big expansion, a little move down, a big expansion, all-time highs price action. I've seen all-time highs price action twice, and now this aggressive sell-off is crazy. So if we look back and find a 3,000 point move, 3,500, this move here is 3,300, and this was in 2022. 3,200, right? Let's see this one. 3,500. So March till May of 2022 was the last time we've had this significant of a move down, which is crazy, because where was COVID? COVID's dip was right here. 3,000 points. We've dropped more than then. But that doesn't really mean much, because obviously we're way higher up, because at the time here, this was a 28% move, and right here, this is only a 17% move. So percentage-wise, it isn't as crazy, but just overall. So I wanted to just come on and make a video today, because obviously it took no trades, but I wanted to talk about just, why, and if someone is newer to trading, it kind of can deter you when you have a day like this. Maybe you took some losses, but this is part of where you just have to always be learning, right? I'm always learning. I'm gaining new experiences in the market. Like even today's candle from where we opened was a 1,000 point candle. That is ridiculous. just because we opened and we've since market open, we've been going up straight up. So the fact that like from overnight session was 1,000 point drop is insane. So yeah, I mean that's really all I got with the trade and stuff. There's a storm coming through Florida. If anyone lives in Florida, let me know in the comments if you guys are feeling some of the storm yet. But it is raining outside, and there's some big waves coming through my local beach break. So I think I'm going to hop off the chart soon and check out the beach and try and see what we can do in this little hurricane or tropical storm swell. I think we're gonna have some fun. You guys see some of my boards back there. So I'm excited for that. It's always fun seeing these kind of storms come through because the ocean starts really pumping some waves out. Man, it gets pretty cool. So that's what my plans are for the rest of the day. Again, no trades. Let's just check one last time where we're at. Yeah, again, no trades today. If you found trades, cool, man. If it fits your model, as long as you're following your rules, you're following your rules. So that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys stay safe and just keep learning, man. So I appreciate everyone that watched these videos. We're at 1,200 subscribers, which is insane. But yeah, so annoying at the trade because everyone has that little addiction dopamine hit of placing trades, and I do want to pass my account, but I think I'm finally maturing in my trading and realizing when there's opportunity and when there isn't, and today there just wasn't an opportunity for me. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully you find a trade, and peace.